we go. Let's make sure that's on. Hello, friends from around the world. I'm Rox of Rockstar Bakes, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're doing a Hello Kitty takeover, a friend takeover, the cake edition. This is the fourth one in this friend takeover series, and I'm so excited to have you here in my kitchen today. Present company aside, I have a few friends helping me here today. Not a lot of friends have been able to join me in my kitchen live, so I'm just gonna show you really quickly what it looks like. And make sure you let me know where are you? And yes, great. So today, to get started, I am gonna keep us safe and I'm going to start by hand sanitizing. I love Hello Kitty too. Oh, thank you. I got this at the Friends Around the World tour when Hello Kitty came and visited here just a few months ago. This is one of my favorite jackets, and to keep it safe, I'm actually going to take it off for this decorating today. And Malaysia, wow, we have friends from everywhere here today. Welcome, Brazil, hello. Birthday girl, Darcy, well, welcome. So today, to get started, again, as you guys are joining, we are gonna be decorating a cake. It's a Hello Kitty cake. It'll have stripes, it'll have bows, and then we're gonna do a double crown. Because Hello Kitty is special, I wanted to make it special too. To get started, what we need for today is vanilla cake, candy melts for the bows. We are also going to use some Swiss meringue buttercream. I have some on my YouTube channel if you need a recipe for that, but any favorite buttercream will do. And then we'll also need some Hello Kitty molds, a cake board, cake scrapers, angled spatulas, a cake comb, and more buttercream in lots of different colors. So let's get started. Here are the candy melts that I'm going to be melting, red like Hello Kitty's bow. And to make sure we're prepared today, I've already pre-melted some and got it ready for our little cake mold. So we're gonna just make the bows. I got this mold a little while ago and I've used it so many times it actually is usable as both a cake, something you can bake in, as well as something that you can make little candies in. So I love it. Let's go back here. And I'm just gonna fill each piece in. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just gonna do 2 for today. Welcome anybody who's just joining. We're gonna be decorating a cake for the friend takeover today. We're gonna wanna make sure, so I got a couple filled with candy melts. We're just gonna bang it to get any extra air bubbles out. And I have a couple of toothpicks ready. And I'm going through this a little bit quickly, but because we have less than an hour together, but I just use a couple of toothpicks. They don't stand up right away, but just keep checking on them in the fridge and then you can just keep adjusting them. But I'm starting with these because then you can set and forget for later as we add these to the cake. So here we go. I'm gonna get this over to the fridge. But before I get over to the fridge, can anyone tell me where Hello Kitty was born? I'll come back and I'll check in a second. Let's see. anyone tell me? Yes, London. Good job. Now we're gonna move on to actually assembling and stacking the cake. I have my pink cakes here. What I used for cake this time is actually box cake mix. It's a little bit hard to find flour these days. So what I did that was a little bit different was instead of using water for the box cake mix, I used a little bit of milk, and then also I added 1 more cup of all-purpose flour and added a little bit of pink to be inspired by Hello Kitty. These are also level, and I actually shaved off around the sides. Make sure to eat those parts, they taste really good. And I am going to start by having a cutting board, not a cutting board, a cake board, and I'm going to actually help the cake adhere by adding a little buttercream to the bottom. So as you can see here, well actually let me help you guys see that a little bit better. Is that okay? Oh, thank you. Yes, I love rainbows, so this is definitely one of my favorite shirts. I'm glad you like it too. So I'm just gonna get this evenly across, and then I'm going to stack my first cake layer. Thank you so much for all of those who are joining. So I try to get this as centered as possible. I even look down from the side and the top, just make sure it's centered and even. This is going to help us later when we're trying to scrape off the buttercream on the cake. But now we're gonna just press this down, and then also, to make it a little bit easier, I got my ice cream scooper, and I'm going to take this Swiss meringue buttercream, take a scoop of it, and I'm going to plop that into the cake center. This is just gonna make it a little bit easier for us to decorate and save a little bit of time so we can hang out and talk as we're decorating. But see, I just spread it out so it's as even as possible. And then as soon as it's filled up to the edges, I get the next layer on. And again, don't be worried about this moving. It's pretty adhered because of the buttercream that's there. And so I'm stacking it. I'm looking at it on the sides again. And now that you guys have guessed where Hello Kitty was born, can you tell me how tall Hello Kitty is? It's in apples. Hint. Oh, I'm not seeing it yet. I love Hello Kitty too. Yes, you can absolutely eat this cake. So this is centered. I'm gonna get that next scoop in. Hello Kitty is actually 5 apples tall. Yes! Milk Tulip, good job. Sweet Tree, good job. J Hairstyles, I see ya. Thank you. 4 apples almost. Hello Kitty is 5 apples tall. Let's get this next piece on. Get a little bit more, so it's missing on this side. Fantastic. So again, same thing as last time. We're just going to even out this buttercream and make it as level as possible so that later when we crumb the cake and then we frost the cake, it's nice and even. Try to avoid any lopsided leaning tower of cake for this project. Here's my next piece. I'm gonna go down to the side again to make sure it's as even as possible. Look at this pink. That's looking pretty even to me. Get this next scoop on. And can anybody tell me which of Hello Kitty's friends has a birthday this month? Kitty's birthday. Hello, welcome. We're making a cake for Hello Kitty. That's Maru, yes. Is that Habiti? Habibi? That's a right guess. So we're gonna even this out. Get this back in here, and now we're on the 4th layer. And with this one, I like to put the part that's touching the cake pan when it's baking on the top, so it's as level as possible. And just place that there. Look again on the side. Is it even? Can you see it? And then press down. Just try to level it as much as possible. Let's see what comments are there. So last week during the takeover, we had a question. What is Mimi's sister's name? Was anyone at that takeover? Can anyone tell me what her name is? If I made that, it would be a disaster. No, we can make this. It's gonna be great. You can make it too. So I'm getting to the crumb, and a crumb is essentially a thin layer that locks in, like it sounds, the crumbs of the cake, so that when we frost it next, none of the crumbs are going to basically get into the frosting, and it's going to stay nice and clean and pretty. And we want that for Hello Kitty. So see, I'm just gonna go along the sides, tuck in any of the buttercream that's there. Can you see that? I'm not sure yet, but did anybody guess Mimi? Yes, Mimi is her sister's name. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Good guess. So I'm just going to push in any of the excess buttercream before adding a little more for the crumbing process. This is nice and level. How can you eat it? Well, I'm making a big cake because this is a Hello Kitty friend takeover, and I'm gonna be sharing it with you guys. Don't worry, it's a lot smaller than it seems. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of buttercream around the edges, as you can see here, because we're gonna lock in all of those crumbs so it doesn't mix in with the rest of the cake. And actually, what I don't have here is a bowl to put any of the excess into. So have any of you been on the Friends Around the World tour? Can you name a couple of Hello Kitty's friends? No. Maybe next time around. That's okay. So for this next step, we're gonna actually place this in the fridge for 15 minutes in order to lock in those crumbs. So now that we have it all evenly covered, let's see, there are no spots. And luckily for us, I prepped in advance. And so I'm gonna get this over to the fridge. And in the meantime, someone tell me what color Karofi is, and I'll check when I get back. Oh, that's Maru, that's one of her friends. Yes. So it's been 15 minutes, as in I prepped this in advance, and this is the same process. It's a crumbed layer of buttercream to lock in any crumbs before we frost it, which is now. So I'm gonna get into frosting it now by putting, yes, Keroppi is a lovely green. Green is my favorite color. Actually, I like to say rainbow is my favorite color because it's just so hard to choose from. But now we're going to frost the cake, and that is getting the lovely buttercream around this. Thanks. Oh, let us get a clean angled spatula for the next one so that we're not getting any crumbs into this. So we got that around. Now I'm gonna get the rest of the frosting around. Thank you for those that are joining today. Oh, hey, Jessica. Thank you for joining. Yes, the buttercream actually is really smooth. It's a Swiss meringue buttercream. Oh, you guys are so kind. Thank you. And thank you for joining. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to join Hello Kitty and me. Let's see, what other questions do I have? How many years young, the lady doesn't like to answer this, but how many years young, because she looks so good still, is Hello Kitty? Who is she? Oh, well, I'm Rox of Rockstar Bakes, ROXSTARBAKES. My friends call me Rox, but my name is Roxy, for those of you who are just joining us. Thank you. So let me just get this buttercream around and move this out of the way. So there's a little more room. I'm just gonna take my angled spatula and then move in some of the buttercream before I take a scraper. 44, 34, 50. So earlier this year, I visited with a friend the Hello Kitty Friends Around the World tour, and Hello Kitty is 45. 50 is so close. So I'm just gonna kind of fill in all of the spots. 45, good job. Who's that? Bayet. Oh, it just passed. So we'll get this going, smooth it a little. Don't worry, it's a lot of buttercream, but it's gonna be scraped away in a second to smooth it out. We can do this. Hello. Yeah, I got a question in there. Who else is from Russia? There's a lot of folks from Russia here today. So here's my cake scraper, it's so tall. This is a tall cake. And I'm just gonna go around, let me do it this way, so it's easier for you guys to see. But I'm just gonna go around and start smoothing out the cake. And don't worry if there's any holes, we'll just go back in and fill that in too. See, there's a little streaks there. That's okay. So what questions did I ask so far? Oh, I think I haven't asked yet how tall Hello Kitty is. I asked how much Hello Kitty weighed, but not how tall. Hello from North Carolina. Oh, Portland, high five. We're both in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Seattle here. So we're just gonna keep smoothing this out until we're really happy with it. And it's okay to get down on the side again and keep scraping away the buttercream. Let me just move this one away because I keep accidentally grabbing it. And then there's a couple of holes. I'll just fill that in with some buttercream. This is so fun, you guys. So glad we were doing this today. How many of you like to bake? Bake or decorate cakes? She weighs 5 bushels of corn and is 7 goats tall. Okay. That's a really good one. Hello Kitty is 5 apples tall. But I'm learning a lot today. Hola. So see, it's just starting to get smoother. It's not perfect yet, but that's okay. I like to go down to the side. Oh, thank you. So let me know if you guys have any questions about this process so far. Again, we're still frosting the cake and trying to make it as even as possible. I'm using my cake scraper, and next we're gonna be using a cake comb once we get this in the fridge and get it firmed a little bit more. Thank you. Thanks for joining. And again, for those of you who are just joining, we're doing a Hello Kitty Friends Takeover. Can anyone tell me what Hello Kitty's real name is? So I flipped my angled spatula to the other side. Here we go. Kitty White, yes! Kitty White, yes! So this is looking okay. Kitty White, yes. Hey there from Chile. Okay, so now I'm just going to even out the top. And again, I'm going to place this back into the fridge for 15 minutes. 15. We're gonna do some movie magic here so that we can spend time hanging out rather than waiting. That's looking okay. Get this back in my jar. Be right back. Hello from San Francisco. Yes, it is a Hello Kitty cake. Oh, I wish I could speak French. Bonjour. So, this cake has been sitting in the fridge for 15 minutes. I'm gonna eat all of these cakes. We're gonna share them. That's what I'm doing with all of these cakes. All the cakes. And it's really big because I'm sharing it with you guys today. Thanks for joining. So now that we have a frosted cake and this one has been sitting it's sat in the fridge and it's firmed buttercream, it's now time to get out our I'm not sure if you could see this, but it's actually a cake comb. It's a 1-inch cake comb, and we're essentially going to remove some of the buttercream that's in here so we can fill it with ombre pink stripes. So shades of pink, all the pink. Hello from Indonesia. Hello. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for visiting. Yes, Hello Kitty's real name is Kitty White. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, at the end, we will be slicing into this cake. So essentially, let's see, I'm gonna help you see this. I'm gonna take the cake comb and I'm going to essentially be pulling away the buttercream slowly. And we're not gonna put it back, but see this? Scraping it away. I'm just gonna put it into this scrap bowl that I had from earlier. And I'm just gonna keep doing that until I'm happy with the thickness of the stripes. Essentially, all we need to do is get it filled in. And this takes a little bit of patience. When I'm first doing it, I'm not at cake height because I know there's a little bit of ways to go. But then as we get a little bit deeper into doing the cakes, we'll just keep moving this over. So see how it's getting a little bit, we're getting the streaks there? That's good, we want that. We want to keep doing that. See? Where how it's just pulling away these stripes. And I have napkins here because every once in a while I just want to. I am the CEO of saying essentially. I like that word. We're just going to move away any of this excess buttercream so it doesn't get reincorporated into the cake. So I'll just keep doing this. Let's see. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Make sure to let me know where you're all joining from. I'm really curious. Anyone's birthday this month? Hello from Texas. Hello. So I'm happy to have all of you here today. If you're just joining, we're making a striped Hello Kitty cake. We're gonna be adding pink to it soon, but right now we're just making the stripes. There's gonna be stripes, there's gonna be sprinkles, and there's gonna be a crown. A buttercream crown. So now we're kind of getting to the part where it's a little bit deeper. So I like to check from the side to make sure that I got it as even from the top as I did from the bottom. It's okay if there's some buttercream coming from the side. Just gonna wipe it away from this cake comb and get one more good scrape. Let's see. Lindsay Ontario, hello from Korea. Brazil, I see you. Peru, we got friends from everywhere. Thanks for joining this Friends Takeover from Hello Kitty. Okay. So now I'm gonna move this aside. I think we're good. Look at all the buttercream we scraped off of the cake and then we have this cake comb. Get that aside. And now we're gonna get into the buttercream. I love this part. We got so many colors. We have deep pink, we have pale peony, we have electric pink, we have some coral pink with a little coral red with a little bit of deep pink, and then we have a deeper electric pink. And this is the order that I'm going to be doing it in. Actually, this is the bottom and this is the top. And we're just gonna add a little bit at a time and scrape it away. Let me just make room here. Thanks for those who have joined and those of you who are just joining. We're adding the stripes now to this Hello Kitty cake. Let me just tilt this here so you can see it easier. So I just try to fill this in as best possible. This is the Swiss meringue buttercream that I colored, and I'm going to just fill in this stripe. It's fine if there are little pocket holes because we're gonna have a cake scraper and we're gonna scrape it all in as evenly as possible. And one tip that I have, when I first started adding stripes to cakes, and I was a beginner at doing this, what I found was a little bit easier was taking an angled spatula and removing one piece at a time, one layer at a time. It just made it a little bit more seamless. And I'm gonna just show you an example of how I might do that, and then we'll remove all of them all at once. Let me just get another bowl. Here we go. So see, it fills this in. We're just removing a little bit of the buttercream at a time. And this again is my getting started technique when I was first learning how to put on stripes on a cake. So hopefully you could see that pretty good. And don't worry about getting all of the stripes filled right away or removing all of the buttercream immediately. We're gonna keep using a cake scraper and we're gonna get that to perfection. Don't worry. So that was the first stripe. Now we're gonna go into the second one. Bonjour! We have some folks from France in here. Hello, friends around the world. You're here for the friend takeover. Ooh, I love this color. We go to the next one. Is anyone else decorating cakes this weekend? Anyone have a birthday? Happy birthday. Hello from NYC. Friends from NYC. I used to live on the East Coast. Now I'm here in the Pacific Northwest. So we get that in there. Don't worry if it's not perfect or we're missing any spots. We're gonna go back, we could fill that in. We have plenty of buttercream. Here is the last stripe. Ta-da! And for this part, we're gonna use another cake scraper. Oh, I'm glad you like the colors. I was feeling like for Hello Kitty, we have to get all the shades of pink in here. What do I do with the extra buttercream? I eat it. Eat all of the buttercream. So that was the first streak. Depending on what type of cake, sometimes it's nice to go in and make a tie-dye cake option with the extra buttercream. So see, we're just taking off a little bit at a time. I think maybe you could see inside my bowl here, but I'm just scraping it along the sides. I'm really glad you like the colors. Hello from Peru. Oh, yay, great. But we're not gonna stop here. Let's get these into stripes. Again, I keep just wiping this off because I don't want to remix the streaks in there. It starts to look like it blends together, but don't worry, we're gonna see the white stripes real soon. You're hungry? I'm hungry too. I'm always hungry. But don't worry, we're gonna be sharing a slice of this cake together. So see, actually I have a little bit of a gap here in the cake. I'm just gonna take some buttercream and fill that in. Just give me a second. No worries. And this is a little bit easier if the cake is cooled a little bit more, because then you're not taking too much of the excess off of the cake. Thanks for joining. Okay, see, the stripes are starting to come together. So exciting. So you could see a little bit of the stripes from the cake coming together. If anybody wants to watch this again, this will be pinned afterwards, so it's gonna be live for the next day. Thought I would let you guys know we're friends now. Okay, so I think that we can call this pretty good and get to the next part of the cake, which is adding the crown. What do you guys think? Not bad for real time. So we have a little bit on the side, but that's okay. Let me just place this here and toss this over. And I have a little bit of this on the edge here. So I'm just going to pull that in so we can keep it as white as possible. I think that looks pretty good, you guys. Let's get on to making the crown. Uh-oh, let's not get any of that on my shirt. Okay, so for the next step, we are going to be putting a crown, a double crown. So we're gonna use 2 piping tips, a 1M and a 4B piping tip, and we're gonna be putting on sprinkles. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna show you the sprinkles before we get into putting the tips on. We have some jimmies, some funfetti quins. I think that's what they're called. Can you see that? It matches my shirt. And then we have these cloud sprinkles, which I guess technically they're candy. They're a little bit bigger. And then we have what I'm gonna call is the hero. So we have these rose gold little dragées that are gonna go on. They reminded me so much of Hello Kitty. And let's see. Oh no, I'm still good, you guys. That would be just great. I have the buttercream already set up in my piping bag here. And for those of you who are, actually even to this day, you don't have to be new to do this, but I love using a plate and piping out different types of tips around the cake. This is a 5-inch cake, and I just want to make sure that I have a good example of what I'm going to do on the cake and just have practice. But if you don't add any sprinkles to it, you can add it right back into the piping bag, and then it's not wasted at all. No, you can't go wrong with cloud sprinkles, especially I feel like with the rainbow sprinkles. It just it comes together. I promise. Really excited. So for this first layer of the crown, I try to pipe them as closely knit together as possible so that the second layer, which is going to be a rope with the 4B tip, has some place to live, like a foundation to the cake. So let's pipe this. I pipe a little bit, and then I pipe a circle, and then I pipe a second. Same thing. Pipe a little in the center, and then a circle. Oh, you guys, this is also known as a rosette tip. It is a Wilton 1M tip. So I think just be patient here. How's it looking? Hey, you guys. And I try to keep it as close to the edge as possible and as even as possible, so when I put that rope, it's gonna have some place to kind of set up. The center, then 1, then 2, bam. This is kind of like a little bit of a tight space here, but that's okay, we're gonna make that work. Just build that up like that so that we have something even all the way across. Next one is a 4B tip. It looks like this. It's also known as a star tip. It's one of my favorite tips here. And I'm gonna just start with this piece and then go all the way around. See, it's just one continuous rope. It's okay to stop. I always find myself stopping on these as well. Like right there, I'm stopping. But I'm just gonna push my piping buttercream back to the edge and then keep going. So keep smooth. There we go. How's that, you guys? And now we're gonna just get some sprinkles on it. So here are those rose gold sprinkles. It's okay to toss them in. I did 2 different colors on the crown because I wanted them to both stand out and look different from one another. And I'm trying to keep it as much on the top as possible. And some of them are just gonna run away from me and then just get in there into the second layer. But this top layer was a deep pink that I just kind of went light on and added some white buttercream. And then here are some white jimmies. And I'm just going to lightly get across here. Oh, okay, that just kind of happened. Let's toss some in there. I feel like I love sprinkles so much. I kind of will a lot of the times I'll just keep going. So I'm gonna just be really conservative here. And then add these sprinkles. Oh my goodness. And then get a couple of these cloud bows in here. I think you could see those really well on camera too. For those of you who are joining, we're making a Hello Kitty cake. We're about to top it off with what makes it so extra Hello Kitty, not just the pink and not just her crown. Oh, some pieces will get on the cake. That's okay. But really excited about this part. I have bows. Bows to put on the cake. Remember what we made earlier with the candy melts and the Hello Kitty bow molds? Well, here are the molds. I put those little toothpicks in and I'm just going to stick them in. Just get them in there. And I'm gonna go on the side to make sure I'm getting a good view of these. But what I kind of liked about this project is that you can spread out the bows wherever you want. If you don't like the positioning, just pull it back out and get it back in there. Try to be patient. I'll move back on camera. But I just had to get these Hello Kitty bows on here. Let's see. You see that? Whoops, that one was almost upside down. But here we go. I'm just gonna add these all over the cake. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I'm just gonna finish this off. You guys did so good. Thank you for keeping me company. I love learning so much about you and seeing just friends from around the world. And thank you for joining this Hello Kitty takeover. Again, I'm Roxy. My friends call me Rox. I'm from Rockstar Bakes. You can find me on my Instagram or my YouTube where we make fun desserts together. But I'm gonna sign off now, and thank you for joining me and putting together this beautiful Hello Kitty cake, stripes, and yeah, I really appreciate it. This is going to be live for the next 24 hours, so if you wanna watch it again to make the cake, make sure to tune in. I'm at Rockstar Bakes, ROXSTARBAKES. Thank you so much. I love you, Hello Kitty. I love you, Sanrio friends, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye. Tune it out. Thank you.